This is episode 2 in a series of episodes where I travel to a location and paint in plain air. In today's episode, we are going to Slovenia. When people think of traveling to Europe, Slovenia isn't the first country that pops to mind. But my goal with this series is to show you that every country has a beautiful side to it, and hopefully it'll inspire you to travel, go out and paint nature, paint outdoors. In the previous episode, we traveled to Croatia, and Slovenia is right beside it, so we decided to visit it as well. The nice thing about living in a van is that you get to travel wherever you want, whenever you want. So that sort of gave us the idea to travel to Slovenia, because why not? So visiting Slovenia, I had no pre-notion or preconception of what I might find there. I just knew that it was known for its nature. So that sort of gave us the idea to travel to it, visit it, and hopefully find a place to paint something. I was pretty surprised by the nature of Slovenia. It had a lot of high mountains and also a lot of open pastures. In a way, it's kind of similar to the nature in Switzerland, but I was pretty surprised. It was very, very beautiful. So, it is known that if you travel to Slovenia, you have to visit Bled Lake, which is a lake with a church right in the center of it. That is like the #1 tourist attraction in the country. It was a must for us to visit it. So that was our first location, our first destination. The only way to visit this specific church was through a boat because there was no other way to get to it. Unfortunately, we didn't visit it because we didn't have enough time or the money. And also, we kind of wanted to explore Slovenia a bit more. So it was sort of like a quick visit. So I didn't pick that location to paint. I did sketch the church though. That was pretty cool. We heard of another lake which was a few kilometers away from Bled. That could be the perfect location we were looking for. So once we arrived, the location was really cool, but there were a few problems. First one is that there were quite a few people around there. It's not what I was looking for. The second one was that we arrived pretty late. It was almost sunset and there was no time to paint anything decent anyway. And the third reason was it didn't convince me enough. There was just not enough color, or there was no interesting compositions that could be worth painting it. So we decided to not paint it and look for another location in the morning. We did take some cool photos though. The ones that I liked the most were the astro photos that we took of the stars. Astrophotography is one of my recent obsessions. The one thing I love about astrophotography is that you cannot take them in a city or anywhere near a city. You'd have to go very far in the depths of nature to be able to properly see the stars. So right beside the lake there was a ski resort that went all the way up in the mountains where I thought could provide some interesting options. It's also full of snow. I've always wanted to paint snow, especially in plain air, so we decided to check it out. So while everybody else is skiing, we deviated and went into the mountains to find some place cool to paint. After a few minutes and close to an hour of looking for the perfect spot, I finally decided on a location. It had the perfect angle. A lot was happening in the foreground, midground, and background as well, which I thought could be interesting as a painting. So I got to work. So while painting this, it might not look like it, but my hands were freezing while I was painting. It was a good thing that I brought gloves because I anticipated something like this. Although it was kind of freezing, it wasn't like completely intolerable. So I sort of alternated between gloves and not gloves sometimes because using gloves to paint isn't very comfortable. But once I had a groove going, the cold was the least of my problems. The one thing that I love about nature painting or drawing is that you become one with nature in a way. You start observing things that you wouldn't observe normally. When people say that you have to enjoy the simple things in life, the littlest things in life, being an artist makes you go a step further, and that is to observe the most minute things in life. And that is what I did while painting this. Start observing how the snow overlays the trees, how the sun is shining through the trees to create interesting shapes in the shade, birds chirping, wind blowing, all of this together. You're just present in it. You are not thinking about anything else but life itself. No distraction from the saturation of modern life, not worrying about what you're gonna do later. You're just enjoying God's creation. This is an experience that I recommend everybody should try every so often, to completely disconnect, turning your brain off for a couple hours, deep in nature. Alright, so here's the finished painting. So I tried a different style here. I started using a palette knife because it was something that I've not used to paint before. So I thought it would be interesting to see the different textures and stuff it creates. Alright, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the journey. I will definitely make this an ongoing series. I will try. It's gonna be hard though. I won't deny that because it's not the cheapest thing to do. And also it's not the most convenient thing to create. But I am trying to make this an ongoing series, and hopefully I'll find sponsors that will be interested in a series like this and fund the entire experience and the entire journey. These are the kind of things that I live for. Not only is it inspiring other people, but it's also inspiring to me to be able to just go out places that I wouldn't be able to go normally, to go out and just make art as God intended, in nature, outdoors. But let me know where you guys would want me to go next. It could be Europe, Asia, Africa, America. I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.